So good morning everyone. Welcome to our maths class and hope all of you are keeping well. If you remember in last class we discussed about the probability and I told you how to write the simple space and how to write the events. But due to the short of time I couldn't solve too many questions depend on the events only. I was given I can say that's definition and I told you the type of the events, all these things were discussed and one or two example were there in front of you. Now today I am going to discuss some more thing in if you remember in live session, yesterday's live session. We discussed about the some more questions also, question number 10th, few part I have done yesterday. Now I'm just going to do some more question for you people. It's written two dice are thrown. Two dice are thrown. If E is the event that both dice come up with the same number and F is the event that product of the number on the two dice is odd. First of all, I would like to tell you that what should be the simple space. What should be the simple space if we are throwing two dice? I am talking about the question number 11. And after solving one or two questions, today I will start to find the probability of the event that will be the 15.3. Now, in question number 11, you can see it's written very clearly two dice are thrown. So first of all, I would like to introduce that what should be the simple space if two dice are thrown together. I can write on the first die 1, then second 2 can come, on first one 3 can, sorry 1 1 and 2, then 1 3, 1 4, 1 5 and 1 6 can come. In the same way, here I can write 2 1, 2 2, 2 3, 2 4, 2 5 and 2 6 will come. Then after 3 1, 3 2, 3 3, 3 4, 3 5 and 3 6 is there. Then 3 7, 4 1, 4 2, 4 3, 4 4, 4 5 and 4 6. Then it is 5 1, 5 2, 5 3, 5 4, 5 5 and 5 6 will be there. And then after 6 1, 6 2, 6 3, 6 4, 6 5 and 6 6 will be there. One thing I want to tell you, it is not necessary to write the sample space. It's not necessary to write the each and every element of the sample space. I wrote all these things to tell you how to find the events and how can we say that events are the subset of the sample space. Now I'm talking about the first event. It's written if E is the event that both dice come up with the same number. On first and second both die we are having the same number. So what I am thinking, E can be written as 1 1, 2 2, 3 3, 4 4, 5 5 and 6 6. It's called doublet also. It's called doublet also. So again I am repeating myself. What is the E? E is written there. E is the event. Both dice come up with the same number. On first and second both dice we should have a same number. So on first if 1, second is also 1. If on the first die it is 2, on second also it should be 2. If on the first die it is 3, on second die also it should be 3. So these are the few things in this question. And now it's written and F is the event that product of the numbers of the two dice should be an odd. Listen me what I said. Product of the number of two dice should be an odd. Now F, I think I can take 1 1. 1 into 1 will be 1. I can take 1 3. I can take 1 5. I can take. Now I can't take 2 because 2 into 1 will be 2, 2 into 2 will be 4, 2 into 3 will be 6. All these will be, the product of these two will be an even number. But when I will come here, 3 into 1, 3 into 3, 3 into 5 can be there. Now again 4 1 4 2, if I will find the product of 4 1 or 4 2 or 4 3 or 4 5, it will be an even number because 4 is the factor of this one and definitely 4 is divisible by 2. So all these numbers which will be the multiple of 4 will be divisible by 2 and it should not be an even number, an odd number. Now think about that 5 1, 5 1, 5 3, 5 5. I think these are the few elements. These are the few elements in which I can say the product of these two numbers will be an odd number. Your question was there. The first of all, I have to write E and F. So I think the first and second part of the question already I have done in this one. I'm talking about the question number 11, and in question number 11 you can see I have done that first and second part of the question was that much only to find E and F. I have got E, I have got F. Now the second part of third part of the question is there. I have to find E R F. Do you know what is the meaning of R? As I told you yesterday, R means we will use union. If somewhere we are writing E R F, it means we have to find E union F. I'll write here E R F, that can be written as E union F. It is, I think, 1 1 2 1 3 1 5, then 2 2, and then after 3 1 3 3 3 5, then 4 4, and then 5 1 5 3 5 5 and 6 6. This should be the A E R F. I can say union of these two we had got. The next one is their fourth part of this question is asked find E in and F. I think I told you yesterday only, if we are trying to find E and F means we have to find E intersection F, and now you can write the intersection in these two. I think 1 1 3 3 and 5 5. This will be 1 1 3 3 and 5 5. It is E and F. Already we had got. Now the last one is there E but not F. Yesterday I told you E but not F means what? The last part of this one is E but not F. It was told you like that E minus F, and it can be written as easily E minus F means 2 2 4 4 and 6 6. 2 2 4 4 and 6 6. E minus F means what? Element of E which is not an element of F. Simply I am telling you element of E which is not element of F. So these are the few things what we have done in question number 11. Again I am repeating myself, in this exercise all these questions are easy because we have to write only events. Here I have written simple space also. In previous exercise only we had learned to write the simple space. Now here again I have written the simple space of this question number 11, and then after I had got all these part of the question, that's event E and F, then their union, their intersection, and even E minus F also. Now I am just going to do one more question for you people, and then after we will move for the, I can say, next topic. You can see that question number 16 is there. That is the last question of this exercise. It's written from a group of 2 boys and 3 girls. 2 children are selected at random. Describe the event. So again what I am thinking, I should write simple space firstly, and then it will be little bit helpful for you. Uh, if there are two boy can be written as B1, B2, and girls can be written as G1, G2, and G3. And now events are there. If A is the event, that's both selected children are girl. If they are girl, it can be G1, G2, it can be G1, G3, it can be G2, G3. Because if we are forming the group, we are taking the group of two children or two girls. So either we will take G1, G2 or G2, G1. Both are the same. We can't take its separate element. I can say ki G2 and G1 and G1 G2 both are the same. I think I can say Sita Gita or Gita Sita, both are the same thing. So in this way, as I told you that let the boys are B1 B2 and girls are G1 G2 G3. So if I am talking about the first event A, that we have to select two children or two students. Let me read the question again. What is the question? It's written. We have to form a group of two boys and three girls. Two children are selected at random. We have to select only two from these five. So that first case is there. Both selected children are girl. These both are girl. Second is there that B is the selected group consists one boy and one girl. I can take B1 G1, B1 G2, B1 G3, then B2 G1, B2 G2, and B2 G3. Then after it's there at least one boy. It means what? One boy may be there and both boys can be there. So let me do this question. As I told you ki I'll take let question number 16. Let boys are B1 and B2. Girls are G1, G2 and G3. Now I am moving to the question. Your question is there that we have to write the first part of the question ki we have to select two children randomly. That first event is represented by A and it's written that both selected children are girl. Now tell me that A can be written as both are girl. Either I take first and second girl, or I take first and third girl, or I take second or third girl. Now tell me, is there any other option to select? I am asking to you people, is there any option to select? Because we are forming the group, we are not going to make them arrange somewhere. If you remember that permutation and combination, so from 3, if we want to select any two, I'll apply 3C2. I'll apply 3C2 and the value of 3C2 will be 3. It means it is correct. But at the same time, if I say that we have to arrange two students somewhere in a sitting arrangement, so that time order of the sitting arrangement will have a meaning. That arrangement, it means G1, G2 will be another order, G2, G1 will be another thing. But here we are forming the group. We are just selecting two students. So that combination sense should be there. Now, B is there ki selected group. B is the selected group consists one boy and one girl. Now, if it is one boy and one girl, listen me. B1, G1, B1, G2, B1, G3. That means first boy can selected with these three girls separately. Now same thing with the second boy, B2, G1, B2, G2 and B2, G3. All these are easily I can write. Now the third one is there. See, at least one boy. It's written in a selected students, at least one boy is selected. It means what? One boy can select, both can be selected. So for one boy, I'll take all these, and now we will take one more element, that is B1, B2. So it can be written as B1 G1, B1 G2, B1 G3. It is exact one, and then at least means minimum one, it's maybe more than one. So more than one, how many we can take? Only two we can take, because only two boys are there and only 2% we have to select. So B2 Z1, B2 Z3 and B2 Z2 also, and the last one is B1, B2. This one is an extra element we have to add, then that B will convert in C. Now from here, if your question will ask which pair, in the question only it is written, which pairs of the events are mutually exclusive. If you remember, I told you, if two events are like that A and B, and if there is no any common element in both events, then I can say these two events are mutually exclusive. Now, you can see in A and B there is no any common element. I can say A and B are mutually exclusive. You can see in A and C there is no any common element, so I can say A and C are mutually exclusive. But at the same time, when we think about B and C, I can see all these elements are common in both except this one. So I can say B and C are not mutually exclusive. A and B are mutually exclusive. A and C are mutually exclusive events. Hope you have got all these things. Now we have completed that 15.2. Now I am going to discuss about the 15.3, and few things are there before starting that 15.3. In last class, I discussed about simply that a simple space, then events, and even today also I have done few questions depend on the events only. Now I am going to find the probability of the events. Suppose that events will be represented by E. So probability of E we have to find. If the events will be represented by E, so now I have to discuss about the probability of E. It can be written as number of E upon number of S, where E is the set of the event, E is representing the event, and S is the sample space. S is sample space. Now, after knowing all these things, few points are there what I want to discuss with you people. If E is an impossible event, the first part, if E is an impossible event, then probability of E is 0. Second one, if E is a sure event, then probability of E is 1. Now only these two cases are there where probability has been well defined that it is 0 or 1. Otherwise, always probability will be more than 0 and less than 1. Because what I can write, since E is subset of S. Suppose that E is the proper subset of S. Only one case will be there. If E is sure event, then only I can write E is equal to S, or E is improper subset of S. So if E is the proper subset of S, so number of element in E always should be less than number of element in S. Okay. So I will find the probability of E will be always less than 1. Again I am repeating myself how it has come. We can divide both sides by number of S, so I will get number of E upon number of S is less than number of S upon number of S. That will be 1, and that is the probability of E is less than 1. Again I am repeating myself. Maybe in your book it's written less than or equal to 1. I used one word that it is proper subset. You should keep in your mind. It is proper subset. If E is equal to S, means it's improper subset, or it is sure event. In this case, I can take here less than or equal, less than or equal, less than or equal. Then I can say probability of an event is always less than or equal to 1. These are the few things. First. Second thing, if I am having two mutually exclusive event, exclusive means A intersection B is equal to 5. In this case, probability of A union B is equal to, simply I can write probability of A plus probability of B. This theorem I will prove in next exercise. I will prove this theorem in next exercise ki how it has come. Few more things I want to discuss with you people. One topic is there, odds in against and odds in favor. What is the odds in against and what is odds in favor? If we are doing some work and we can get our result, means that work can be occurred by A way and it cannot be occurred by B way, then A is to B is odds in favor and B is to A is called odds in against. It was discussed in class 10th. It was discussed in class 10th, odds in favor and odds in against. Again I am repeating myself, if any event is there, suppose that an event is E and it can be happen by A way and cannot be happen by B way, so I can say odds in favor is A is to B and odds in against is B is to A. Now you can see that total number of outcome will be A plus B. Now if I am thinking probability of E, so that will be A upon A plus B. If I am thinking probability of not B, I told you that E is an event. If by A way it can happen and by B way it cannot happen. Not means what? It's not happen. So probability of not E I can write E bar, that is equal to B upon A plus B. Why I wrote this one? Favorable outcome upon total outcome. Here favorable outcome upon total outcome, not E. Now here you can see, if I write probability of E, probability of E bar, it can be written as A upon A plus B upon A plus B, and when I have to take LCM, it is A plus B, that will be 1. So we have got one result here, that probability of E plus probability of E bar is equal to 1, simply. Now I can write a probability of E bar is equal to 1 minus probability of E. It means if we are having the probability of occurring an event, so easily we can find the probability of not occurring this event by 1 minus this probability. Easily I can do. Okay? And now one more thing I want to tell you. As you must have seen, that probability of an event was written like that. Suppose that probability is equal to A upon A plus B. If I am simplifying, that is probability of A plus probability of PA into PB is equal to A. If I transpose in this side, so PB is equal to A minus PA. If I take A LCM, 1 minus P will be there, and that is P. B, when I will find A upon B, I will get P upon 1 minus P. It means what I want to say. If the probability of an event will be given and we want to find odds in favor, then directly I can write probability upon 1 minus probability. It is odds in favor. And if I want to find odds in against, then B upon A is equal to 1 minus P upon P. 1 minus P upon P, where P is the probability of that event. So again I am repeating myself, if the probability of any event is given, then we can find easily odds in favor and odds in against. These are the few things what I want to discuss with you people. Now the next exercise means 15.3 is totally depend on the simple probability. Even we are not going to apply any theorem there, any rules and other things. Simple, that's probability is equal to that formula. I think in the starting I wrote here. Again I am writing probability of an event is equal to number of element in E upon number of element in S. I have followed this one, and then easily I can find the probability of any event. And as I told you in the starting, of the today's class and in previous class also कि how to find the events and how to find the sample space. Once if we will write correctly sample space and correctly event, so easily we can find I can say probability of that event also. And in the 15.4, actually we are having 4 exercise to discuss here, that in 15.3 we are going to start probability, and in 15.4 we will use some formula, some theorem to find the probability of A intersection B, A union B, or A bar B. Too many things are there. I'll discuss all these things with you people. But before that, I would like to do some question depend on probability that may help you to solve some other question. And as I told you yesterday that you people try to attend both classes, live and recording, because topic will be the same in both classes. Topic I'll take same, but in both class I'll try to solve the different question. In this way, for the same topic we will have 2 classes, and in these 2 classes we can solve some more question. So it is important for you people to attend both classes, that live as well as recording. Okay. Now you can see that I'm just going to select one question, that question number 4, because it is little bit depend on the playing card. Yesterday in live class we discussed something about the playing card, and again I'm just going to tell you that's how to find all these things. And in playing card, before solving the question of playing card, I want to tell you few things, that in a playing card there are 52 cards, and that 52 cards are divided in 4 parts. These 4 parts are called the suits, and that deck, it is called the deck. That whole cards packet is called the deck. It is divided in, I told you now, 4 parts. I can take 1, 2, 3 and 4. In each I am having 13, 13 and 13 cards. It can be written as spade, then club, then diamond, and the last one is there, heart. Few things are there what I want to tell you, because when we will do question, definitely these words will be there to find the probability of red color card, to find the probability of black color card. So very clearly I want to tell you these 2 spades and club are in black, and diamonds and hearts are in red color. Okay. In each and every suits, I can say we are having the number of cards from started with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Then after I am having Jack, Queen, King and S. These 3 are called the face card. These 3, Jack, Queen and King, are called the face card. And if in your question it was asked, if find the probability are the events where face card is there, so we have to think about the Jack, Queen and King also. So if in each suits we are having 3 face card, there are 4 suits. So I can say in 52 playing cards we will have 12 face card. Out of these 12, 6 are red and 6 are black. Now I am moving to the question. The question is there. Question number 4, you can see very clearly it's written. A card is drawn randomly from the well shuffled pack of 52 cards. What is the probability? Now listen me, when I am talking about the card, so if one card are drawing from the well shuffled deck of 52 cards, so number of S, total outcome will be 52. In starting only I can write number of S is equal to 52. One card is drawing. Anyone I can, actually it has come from that 52C1. Which one is drawing we don't know, but that one card can drawn by 52 way from the 52 cards. Now it's asked ki what is the probability that it is a diamond. Now I'm asking to you people that probability that drawn card is diamond. If I take this is an event is represented by A, now tell me number of A is equal to 13. I write or not, because there are 13 card in diamond. So one card is right, so favorable outcome will be what? 13. Now if I want to write the probability of A, I can write number of A upon number of S, that is equal to 13 upon 52, which is equal to 1 upon 4. In the same way, second is not diamond. Second is not diamond. It means what I want to write, probability of A bar. It can be written as 1 minus probability of A or not. It is 1 minus 1 upon 4, that is equal to 3 upon 4. That is equal to 3 upon 4. Now, third is there NS. When I wrote there, A is there, na? It is S. There are 4 S in whole. So third part is there. If I am representing B is in event, that is representing S. So number of B is equal to 4. Again, I can write probability of B is equal to number of B upon number of S, that is equal to 4 upon 52. It is equal to 1 upon 30. And if the fourth part is there not in S, again I can write this is fourth part, probability of B bar is equal to 1 minus probability of B, 1 minus 1 upon 30, it is equal to 12 upon 30. Yeah. The next one is there an S of spade. Only one S we are having in spade. So if I take the fifth part, that N S of spade, I can write it is, if it is represented by what I can say C, so number of C is equal to 1, probability of C is equal to number of C upon number of S, it is 1 upon 52. And the same thing, a blank card. A blank card, question number, that sixth part of this one is there, a blank card. Find the probability that drawn card is a blank card. We are having 26 cards there. 26. So if it will be represented by D, so I can say number of D is equal to 26. So probability of D is equal to number of D upon number of S, that is equal to 26 upon 52, it is equal to 1 upon 2. Next one is there not a black card. Only two type of cards we are having. If only two type of cards we are having, if it is not black, it means it is red. So there are two. We are having 26 red cards, so I can say that is probability of not black is 26 upon 52. Or directly I can say if D is representing the black card, so 7th will be the probability of D bar, that is equal to 1 minus probability of D. It is 1 minus 1 upon 2, that again 1 upon 2 we can write. Hope you are getting all these things very easily. The next one is there 10R spade. 10R spade. There are 13 card in spade and 4 card in which is 10. So 13 plus 4 is 17, but one card is common in both. So I think that favorable outcome will be there. If I'll take its E, number of E is equal to 16. 16 upon 52, and that's simplest. One thing always you should keep in your mind whenever we are writing the probability of any event, that fraction should be in simplest form. So that 10R spade will be 16 upon 52. It can be written as 4 upon 13. A blank card, it's written now. A picture card, R spade. Picture means face card. You can see 3 are there. So 3 into 4 will be 12. But out of these 12, 3 It's written. It's the picture card or spade. In spade, how many cards we are having? 13 plus 12 is 25. But in this 25, 3 cards are common. So I 25 minus 3 will be 22. 22 upon 52. That is the probability of this one. A king or 9 of hearts or 3 of spade. 4 king, 1 9 of heart and 1 3 of spade. 4 plus 1 is 5. Actually these things that R word is there. In coming exercise I'll discuss like I'll take two events A and B, and then after I'll find probability of A union B also for you people. So these are the few things what I want to discuss today, and rest of the questions I'll discuss in next class. And next class only I'll try to start that 13.4 also, where we have to use some theorems. Till then please try to solve the rest of the question, and definitely it will be what I am thinking, it is an interested topic. Each and every question you can do easily. Thank you and have a good day.